It's so good to celebrate together on this beautiful Shabbat evening. And we welcome you, whether you're here in this sacred tent in person or here via our sacred tent in the land of Zoom or YouTube. We really are one family. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and what an extraordinary honor it is to be here on this journey. We're celebrating Sonia, who's becoming a bat mitzvah over the weekend. Sonia, we're so excited. And we're celebrating tonight with our kindergartners who are receiving their official consecration into our religious calling. Here's our kindergarten class. And I wanted to introduce also those who are also officiating at tonight's service. We've got, of course, Akiba and our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman. Yay! All of us. So, those of you who are here on Zoom, we want to make sure that you know that your voices are truly part of our liturgy. And we invite you, we encourage you to share something in the chat box. And maybe every once in a while we'll share your liturgy with the congregation who's here tonight. Maybe it's just a kind word, maybe it's something special that happened over the week. We want your prayers to join with all of us. We are going to begin with the singing of Hine Matov. How wonderful it is that we're here together as a family. We're in our prayer books on page 10. Thank you, Kendra. On page 10, everyone.
So this version is a very special version. We need your help. It's call and response. And it's going to be so good and so sweet to see us all here together.
Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat Achim, Gam Yachad.
I have to say, as we look out at your faces, especially those who are in our kindergarten class, we feel like we spent a whole year and a half not seeing your faces. And what a difference it makes. What a difference it makes. We want you to bring your light here all the time, as much as you possibly can, because that makes truly our light shine brighter together. We're going to continue. Cantorial intern Liz, we've got another song, right?
We do, Rabbi. This is Shir Shir. It's one of my favorites, and there might be some hand motions too.
There's some dance, right?
I think some dance.
So
There
this is a song that we sort of call our surfing version because we kind of do little surfing motions like this, and then we switch and we go like this. So because you're sitting, you don't have to get up and do that. But maybe you can just kind of go like this and like this.
But if you want to get up,
If you want to get up, please, we would love that.
Shir.
Shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shir, shir hallelujah. Shabbat, Adonai. Shir, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shir, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shiru, 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 shir chadash, shiru, 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 shir chadash, shiru, 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 shir chadash, Adonai. Shir, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, shir, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah, hallelujah.
We got some great surfers in this congregation. That was so fun to see. Oh, we're going to continue now, bringing so much light into the world as the sun sets. And Sonia, you are now entering as the newest member of the oldest tradition in the world. And we're going to invite you to come forward with your sister Dylan and your parents Alex and Bree to our candles over here. And everyone in the congregation will all on page 2 for the lighting of our Shabbat candles. We're going to ask all who are able to please rise. We turn to page 5 for our Kiddush.
No, I didn't want. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahavu b'ratzah, v'zivanu. Zikaron namaste Bereshit. Yom Tefillah V'Mikra'e Kodesh Sefer L'Tzion Mitzrayim. Anu B'Charta V'Tanu Kidashta V'Kohanim Shabbat Kodesh Yavahu Rasto Tikotanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim? L'chaim! Please be seated, everyone. Oh yeah, that was so beautiful. Friends, we'd now like to invite forward members of our temple leadership, beginning with Sarah Fields, who is representing our congregation. Sarah, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Is this right hand? Okay, on behalf of the temple board, I'd like to welcome you all. And I'm sure there are some people that are here for the first time. Who's here for the first time? Welcome, that's great. I want to thank Sonia for doing such a beautiful job with the candle lighting and the devotion. I know your family's very proud of you, as we are. And thanks to the Bandy family, they're going to be hosting our Honing to Go at the end of the service. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do to stay safe, is take your little bag to go. We have a couple of things coming up that are starting up or have recently started. Every Saturday morning, Torah study here at Temple from 9 to 10, also available on Zoom. Similarly, on Mondays at noon, Lunch and Learn, which is study with Rabbi or Cantor. Again, in person with proof of vaccination or on Zoom. And we're also going to be starting this Wednesday with Coffee with the Clergy at 11 o'clock, again here or on Zoom. So I hope some of you can join us. And every time you come to the temple, you know you have to show your proof of vaccination if you're eligible by age. Obviously, we have some kids that are not yet able to be vaccinated. We hope they will soon. So again, welcome everyone, and we're glad that you're here. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We'd now like to invite forward both Karen Marcus, who is a member of our sisterhood and past president of our sisterhood, as well as Herman Barnathan, who is representing our men's group. And Sonia, if you can come forward as well, they have some presentations for you.
Sonia. On behalf of Akiba Sisterhood, I'm proud to present you with this Kiddush cup. We know that you worked very hard to get to this point. Your teachers are very proud of you and the clergy at the temple. And I can see your parents, Bree and Alec, just beaming. So we hope you will use the Kiddush cup for your holiday and Shabbat celebration. And with joy and pride.
Sonia, it's so nice to see you.
Herman, please use the microphone so the people on Zoom can hear you.
Can you start that again, Sonia? It's so nice to see you. Excuse me, I represent the men's group here at Temple Akiba. And every week, it is my pleasure to present to the B'nai Mitzvah a book, but not just any book. It's a Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, from start to finish. It's everything that you need to know, everything that you want to know. No matter what your questions are, you've got it in here. It's your Bible for life. You'll find places in the Bible where you can inscribe whatever it is you need to inscribe, the happy days, the unfortunate, sad days, whatever it is. We purposely did it for you because we don't know whether or not, I know that you can read Hebrew, but I don't know if you understand Hebrew. I read Hebrew, but I don't understand it. So this book is in English to make life as easy for you as we possibly can. Sonia, you're going to do great tomorrow. Just based on what I heard tonight, I know you're going to do great tomorrow. The book is yours. Cherish it, read it, use it. Shabbat shalom to you, mazel tov to you, and mazel tov to your family.
Thank you so much to all of our leadership. Shir L'Adonai, Shir Chadash, sing a new song unto God, on page 344.
Adonai.
26, page 26, with a Chasi Kaddish.
Yikata ve'yikata shemei Rabba ve'amati vrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechonu v'yamechon v'chayetecho beit Yisrael v'agala v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imeru amen. Yeshmei Rabba Mevorah Le'alam U'amei Hamaya Yitvarach Yitvarach Ve'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitronam V'yinaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudashah Richu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shivata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiram be'ama V'imeru Amen.
And continuing on page 28, we ask all who are able to please rise for the call to worship.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Adonai, Amevorah, Baruch, Adonai, Amevorah, Amevorah, Leolam Vaed, Amevorah, Amevorah, Leolam Vaed.
Shema Yisrael, the central prayer of our people, is on page 34. Page 34, everyone.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated, everyone except for Sonia. Sonia is going to be leading us in the Via Havta. We're on page 36, everyone. Page 36.
Asher Anoki Metzavecha Hayom Halevavecha
Carmen, what you said earlier about her family beaming, you are so right. Wow. Our next prayer is our prayer for freedom, the Micha Mocha. It's on page 40. And there's a melody that we often use that involves some hand snapping and then some hand swaying and then some hand clapping. So Cantor Lonnie and Cantorial intern Liz will show you those movements. We encourage everyone here or at home on Zoom, and we're watching you on Zoom.
Yes, we are.
Back up, let me switch
Let's put it
this.
into gallery.
There, gallery
Yes, we
view.
can
Okay.
see you.
To snap along with the cantors, and then we're going to sing the words on page 40.
So we're going to start with snapping. Yap bye bye bim biddy bum, yap bye bye bim bum, yap bye bye bim biddy bum, yap bye bye bim bum. Ay 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 ay, yap bye bye bim bum. Ay 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 ay, yap bye bye bim. Back to snapping. Kamocha, bali madonai, mi kamocha, gezar bakodesh, no ratinilo, oh sefela, no ratinilo, oh sefela, ya bye bye bim bidi bam, ya bye bye bim bam, ya bye bye bim bidi bam, ya bye bye bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam.
Sonia, we'd like you to come back forward again to lead us in the Amida, and it begins on page 46. We invite all who are able to rise once again.
Adonai sefateti chaku via gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Haggadah, Hagibor, Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Etonei Hakol, Ezeher Hasei Avot V'Imachot, Umei V'Imo V'Neihem, L'man Shalom V'Avava, Melech Ozer V'Mashiach V'Machot. Adonai, Magen Avraham, Sarah. Atagi Borelam Adonai, Nechaye Haporta, Ram Nechaye Chai Bechesed, Nechaye Hakol Berachamim, Somes Noflim Be'ofel Holim, Lumatir Asurim, Nechaye Elunato, Shape our heart, become a cup of the whom we don't very long. Bella Fini, Nakaye, Masti Yeshua, Enemanata, Hayota, Arupata, Adonai, Nakaye, Ataka Dosh, Mishikaka Dosh,
Please be seated, everyone. As we enter, or as we're about to enter our own silent prayers, I want to share a story that I share often, but it's an important story and it's therefore important to share often. It's called The Boy with the Flute. Once upon a time, there was a congregation, and they were having a service kind of like ours, and a little boy who was about 5, maybe 6 years old, came in with his family, and he heard the cantor chanting so beautifully the really fun songs. And the people around the little boy were singing the songs in Hebrew. It was a Hebrew song. Now, the little boy had just started kindergarten and was just learning some of the Hebrew letters. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, and had just begun to be able to recite a few of the songs and some of the prayers, but not really. Anyway, in this particular service, everyone held a siddur like we're doing here, and the people were singing along with the beautiful melody of the cantor, and the little boy opened the book, and it all looked like Greek to him, except it was in Hebrew. And he was really frustrated because he wanted to pray. But he had a little flute in his pocket. And he pulled out the flute, and he began to play the melody that people were singing. Now, the people who were sitting around the little boy were what we call curmudgeons, meaning they like to be grumpy about things. And when their prayer was disturbed by the sound of the flute, they looked around. You know that eye that adults sometimes give to kids? You know that one I'm talking about? All of them gave that eye like, shush, you're bothering me. All of a sudden, the little boy began to cry. The cantor put her book aside, and she looked down at the little boy, and you could tell even through her mask that her eyes were smiling. And she said to the congregation, this little boy's melody on his flute is the most sincere prayer. And God is collecting every one of those notes, and God understands what's going on in that boy's heart. Cantor said this to the congregation. And those in the congregation that gave that eye did teshuvah. They felt sorry for what they had done. And they remembered that all of our voices have the opportunity to speak God's language if we reach down deeply enough into our souls and listen with our hearts. Tonight, as we celebrate our kindergarten, we have to remember that their voices are often the ones that God hears most clearly. Let's take a moment to recall what it was like when we were that tender age. Think about our hopes and our dreams. Think about those around us who nurtured those dreams. And let's pray deeply and silently so that God can touch on that part of our hearts in a deep and passionate way. We pray silently.
We just finished the holiday of Simchat Torah, and in Simchat Torah we read from the book of Deuteronomy, from the very last book and the last few verses of our Torah. Then we scrolled it all the way back to the beginning and started all over again. We read the first few lines in Genesis. Sonia tomorrow will be chanting from Bereshit, which is the very first portion in our Torah. And we wanted to honor the fact that we are starting anew and that we are in Bereshit, we're at the beginning of the Torah, by singing a few songs that come from that Torah portion. So this is Hine Tov Me'od, and it talks about how God created the stars and the moon. There was evening, there was morning, and it was all very good. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. There was evening, there was morning, there was evening, there was morning. Vayi erev, vayi boker, tov me'od. Vayi erev, vayi erev, vayi boker, tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hine tov me'od. There was evening, there was evening, there was morning, there was evening, there was morning. Vayi erev, vayi boker, tov me'od. Vayi erev, vayi boker, tov me'od.
We open to page 253, page 253. We have a responsibility and an opportunity to pray for healing. And so, as we pray, right in the center of the books, think about people that you know who could use strength and healing. And when we get to the center of the prayer, as my eyes meet yours, please share those names out loud of people that you are thinking of who could use that strength. And if you're here via Zoom, please place those names in our chat box.
Name
and David Jaffa, Garner, four-son family. San Vincent.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say,
Tonight is a night of healing, but it's also a night of celebration. And we are celebrating not only Sonia, but we're celebrating those who are at the very beginning of their process. And to formally welcome them, we want to call forward our Senior Director of Education, the incredible Randy Bischoff. Randy, Shabbat Shalom!
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
You shall love the eternal God with all your mind, with all your strength, and all your being. Set these words which I command you on this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children, and speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. These words, which are from the beginning of the Ve'ahavta, teach us that love of God and learning are closely related. The education of our Jewish children is a joint venture shared by family and our Jewish community. Tonight we celebrate the beginning of the Jewish learning of our kindergartners when they enter into their formalized study of Judaism. As we give them the gift of Torah tonight, we will pass its wisdom from generation to generation, the Dor Vador. So Cantor is going to read the names of the children in the kindergarten class. When you hear your name, come on up, and we have a little mini Torah to give you.
Vivian Broomer. And Devin Coffey. And Holden Contento. Max Edelist. Evie Einhorn. Avery Kennedy. Zachary Clayman. Evan Cooperman. Liam Lipson. Iona Karp. Wes Miller. Oliver Mizrahi. Eitan Nicolette. Maya Rappaport. Jack and Lila Rabden. Noah Schreck.
Maya?
Bunny Shapiro. Clive Schwartz. Rainey Shepard. Emery Usenmans, and Paloma Weisinger.
Everyone, hold your Torahs up and your certificate nice and high. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, everyone, 1, 2, 3. Oh. You guys are incredible lights, and it gives us so much joy to see young people, no offense to the older ones here, but young people in our space making this so fun for all of us. We love seeing you here on Sunday mornings. And when I look back at Dylan and Sonia, it's not long ago that they were where you are right now. So in a blink of an eye, parents, in a blink of an eye, they are going to be ascending to become bar bat mitzvah and beyond. But today, we truly celebrate you. And we're going to offer you this very special blessing, which comes from all of your parents and grandparents and families, your synagogue leadership, Kathy Penzo, who is our synagogue president, and Scott Markowitz, who is our VP of religious practice. This comes from all of us right into your hearts and souls.
Can you see them all? Can you see them all on Zoom?
Down just a little bit.
Whoa.
Not that much. A little bit.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and your thumb is blocking the screen.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry, everyone at home. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
They're all making faces at this rate. This is so funny. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God's light always shine upon each and every one of you and grant you the most precious gift, the gift of shalom, of peace. Everyone say amen.
Amen.
And wish them a mazel tov again. All right, kindergartners, you can go back to your seats. And Jeffrey, we need that.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. But we look the same.
So there are so many reasons to celebrate in a synagogue. And we want to make sure that people who belong here don't only celebrate at a consecration or at a bar bat mitzvah or at a wedding, but that you come here for important life moments. So if you have a birthday in the month of October, or an anniversary, or a special life event, we ask you to come forward and stand toward the front so that we can offer you a blessing. Jeffrey, is the Torah? It's okay if we don't have it. Okay.
I can bring it. We're fine. We're fine.
I have a little one.
This stuff one? We're fine. Come forward, everyone. Stand right around this space.
Take it if I can get it.
Is that it for October? I don't believe this. Yeah, that's true. Kendra and I are part of this. No more October birthdays?
Or anniversary.
Or anniversaries?
On Zoom.
Anyone on Zoom celebrating?
Well,
Elizabeth.
whether you're here as an extended family. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. We'll take it. Jeffrey Rich for this. Okay. We got it. Okay. Whether you're here as extended family of the bat mitzvah, whether you're here as longer time members of Temple Akiba, perhaps some of you are still in your seats, not sure if you wanted to come up or not, but you're standing here with us spiritually as well, and those on Zoom. We hold Torah because you hold all of us. You are the holiest people that we can imagine. And it's through your light that we stand here. We acknowledge the gifts that you bring, and we harness the goodness that you are. As you observe and celebrate these life moments, please know that God's blessing is upon you. And we only pray that you go from strength to strength, embody goodness, and embrace shalom. And so we offer you the blessing of Shehetlianu, thanking God for giving us life and sustaining us, and enabling us to be here right now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achzianu v'kimanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achzianu v'kimanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh.
Mazel tov, everyone. Go back to your seats, but don't sit down. Go back to your seats, but don't sit down, because we're going to have the congregation rise for the Aleinu on page 282, about halfway down the page.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzon, velo samanu kilishachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, egor aleinu kechol hamonam. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
As we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish, we offer a reading on page 291. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We now remember friends and family of our congregation who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We begin with those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. And for those who are watching via Zoom, please, we ask that you add names in our chat box for those that you are thinking of. Dr. Howard Cass, Arnold Fisher, Jack Gold, and Shelley Serpin. Are there additional names of those for whom you are in Shloshim, the first 30 days since a loved one has died. We add to their names the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat. We begin with those who have plaques in our Burford Memorial Room. Henry Harris, Oscar Levin, David Mark, Aaron Rosenblatt, David Tepper. We also remember Jacob Ayers, Trudy Bender, Leonard Bromberg, Morris Brown, Shirley Creve, Julia Edelman, Regina Eisner, Mildred Grundy, Tim Harris, Suzanne Hess, Joyce Jurin, Mervyn Levin, Shirley Tell, Barbara Levy, Diane Maltzman, Sonia Marco, Selma Nathan, Louis Newman, Ruth Newman, Ellen Norton, Max J. Penner, Clara Pizer, Bobby Pizer, Elaine Rockman, Jack Rosenberg, Irving Rubenstein, Esther Rutenberg, Mortimer J. Stern, David Sternfeld, Benny Waxman. May all of their names continue to live on us through goodness always. Our Kadisha Tone Mourner's Kaddish is on 294, page 294. We invite you to please rise once again. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yomad Livrach Rute, Yamlich Malchute, V'chayechon of Yomechon, V'chayech Kol Beit Yisrael, V'galam V'izman Kariv Imru Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olmei Omaya, Yiparach, Yishabach, Yitbahar, Yitromam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitalev, Yitalav, Shemei Kurishah, B'rechu, Le'elam min kol tirchata v'shirata, Yushprachata v'nechamata, Damiran v'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min Shemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma, V'ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all of humanity, we say, Amen. Amen. Please be seated, everyone. Keep your books closed. It's a little dark to see the words on the pages right now. What are we closing with, Cantor?
We are closing with another song from Bereshit, from the beginning of the Torah, and this is called "This Is Very Good." And we need your help with this one because it talks about all the different types of things that God has created. And there's one moment where it says, "and apes." But we don't just say, "and apes." We go, "and apes." So we need your help with that. Once we get there, we'll motion to you.
When God made the world, God made it full of light, the sun to shine by day, the moon and stars by night. God made it full of light, lilies, oaks and trout, tigers and bears, sparrows.
Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Ready?
and apes.
Friends, indeed, this is very good. It is very good to see children dancing during services. It is very good to see Sonia, who is becoming a bat mitzvah. It's very good to see Toby Waxman, whose son brought us that song as a confirmation song, and we had that at his confirmation service a number of years ago. It is indeed very good to be here to celebrate. And all of you make our hearts so warm and so deep. So we're going to conclude with Motzi, which is also very good.
We're going to ask the Bandy family to join us one more time to help us lead the Motzi.
Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus, as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Motzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat shalom, everyone!